Prepare to unleash your darkest fears with Netflix's top 10 hair-raising horror movies. From heart-pounding scares to twisted tales of terror, these disturbing selections will haunt your dreams. Number 10. Wildling. In this supernatural horror directed by Fritz Boom, Anna has spent her entire childhood locked in an attic, raised by a man she calls Daddy's, who warns her of the Wildling, a creature that eats little girls. After she's discovered and taken in by a local sheriff, Anna begins to experience strange physical changes and vivid nightmares, revealing that her true nature may be more monstrous than she was told. The story blends folklore with puberty horror. The pacing can drag in the second act, and some of the mythology feels underdeveloped. But strong performances and a haunting tone give Wildling an eerie edge that makes it a worthy. Number 9. The Wretched. Directed by the Pierce brothers, this supernatural horror follows Ben, a troubled teen sent to live with his father in a quiet coastal town for the summer. What begins as a tense coming-of-age story turns sinister when Ben notices strange behavior from the neighbors and uncovers the presence of a witch-like entity that feeds on children and erases them from memory. As he tries to warn others, Ben is dismissed as unstable, forcing him to confront the evil alone. Some twists feel a bit overly complicated, but with striking creature design, confident direction, and a satisfying sense of dread, The Wretched blends urban legend with folk horror in a way that sticks with you. Number 8. Hellhole.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Directed by Bartosz M. Kowalski, this Polish horror film centers on Marek, a young police officer who infiltrates a secluded monastery under the guise of a priest to investigate a series of strange disappearances. The monastery claims to treat the possessed, but Marek quickly realizes that the monks are hiding something far darker beneath their rituals and stone walls. As he uncovers the truth, the line between sanity and evil begins to blur. While the film's pacing can feel sluggish and some sequences repeat familiar possession tropes, it redeems itself with striking imagery and a finale that veers into bold, nightmarish territory. Number 7. The Room.
You never take that stuff outdoors.
Directed by Christian Volkmann, this psychological horror follows Matt and Kate, a couple who move into a remote fixer-upper and stumble upon a hidden room with a disturbing gift. It grants any wish they make. At first, their fantasies come to life in luxurious and playful ways, but soon their desires spiral into obsession and dread as they push the room's power too far. The concept is rich with allegory, but some of the dialogue and character choices strain believability as the story unfolds. Still, The Room is stylish, provocative, and unsettling in how it explores the dark side of wish fulfillment and the cost of getting everything you want. Number 6. Cobweb.
It's okay.
Directed by Samuel Bowden, this eerie horror tale centers on Peter, a lonely 8-year-old boy haunted by a constant tapping from inside his bedroom wall. His parents brush off his fears as childish fantasy, but Peter begins to sense that the threat isn't in his imagination, it might be inside his own home. As paranoia builds, so does the mystery of what or who is trying to reach him. While the film's ending feels rushed and leaves some threads dangling, Cobweb thrives on atmosphere, unsettling performances, and a creeping sense of dread. It's a dark fairy tale that preys on childhood fears with chilling precision. Number 5. The Lure. This Polish horror musical reimagines the mermaid myth in a bizarre, neon-lit 1980s cabaret scene. Two siren sisters lured from the water begin performing at a nightclub, one falling in love with a human, the other drawn to her darker, predatory instincts. Their struggle between love and hunger unravels into a surreal tale of identity, desire, and destruction. While the film's tone swings wildly between musical horror and fairy tale tragedy, its bold style and originality are hard to ignore. The Lure may not be for everyone, but it's a haunting, visually stunning dive into the deep end of genre cinema. Number 4. Naboer. This Norwegian psychological thriller follows John, a man reeling from a recent breakup who finds himself pulled into the mysterious apartment next door. home to two seductive sisters with secrets of their own. As John's sense of reality begins to dissolve, he becomes trapped in a maze of manipulation, desire, and psychological torment. The film blurs the lines between dream and delusion, making every moment feel unstable and untrustworthy. While not a traditional horror film, its claustrophobic tension and surreal atmosphere are deeply unsettling. Naboer is a slow-burning descent into madness, and for those who crave mind games over monsters, it's a disturbing and unforgettable ride. Number 3, The Empty Man.
The Empty Man, 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 the Empty Man.
Written and directed by David Pryor, this supernatural horror begins with a familiar premise about missing teens and a local legend, but quickly spirals into something far more strange and ambitious. Set in a quiet Midwestern town, a former cop investigates a string of disappearances tied to an urban myth known as the Empty Man, only to uncover a hidden cult and a creeping cosmic horror beyond comprehension. The film stretches into surreal existential terror with long dreamlike sequences and layers of mystery. Its nearly 2.5-hour runtime and slow-burn approach may test some viewers' patience, but The Empty Man rewards with a haunting atmosphere, bold direction, and a uniquely unsettling vision that lingers. Number 2, The Babadook. Directed by Jennifer Kent, this psychological horror centers on Amelia, a grieving widow trying to raise her emotionally troubled son Samuel, while battling the weight of unresolved trauma. When a strange pop-up book titled Mr. Babadook appears in their home, Samuel becomes convinced the monster is real, and Amelia's world slowly begins to unravel. The film deftly explores grief, mental illness, and motherhood through a horror lens, turning the supernatural into a metaphor for emotional collapse. Some may find its pacing slow or its symbolism heavy-handed, but The Babadook grips with its raw performances and a deeply unsettling tone. Number 1, Incident in a Ghostland.
They broke me, and now they're playing with you.
In Pascal Logier's spine-chilling tale, Pauline and her daughters, Beth and Vera, inherit their late aunt's eerie abode. But their first night becomes a descent into terror when psychopaths invade, driving Pauline to desperate measures to protect her girls. 16 years on, Beth thrives as a renowned horror author, while Vera battles crippling paranoia. When they reunite at the family home, dark forces awaken, unleashing a cascade of unnerving events. What begins as a familiar horror flick swiftly evolves into a gripping story, uplifted by stellar performances and masterful makeup effects. Brace yourself for a journey where every shadow conceals a secret and every creaking floorboard heralds impending doom. Highly recommend this one. Here are 3 other movies worth watching. Books of Blood. Embark on a journey through uncharted and forbidden realms. Experience 3 intertwined tales, each unraveling across space and time. Antlers. In Central Oregon, Frank Weaver operates a meth lab in an abandoned mine. After a mysterious creature attacks him and his son Aiden, they return home with worsening conditions. Frank locks them in a room, ordering his older son Lucas to keep them confined no matter what. No Exit. A young woman escapes rehab to visit her sick mother but ends up stranded at a mountain rest stop during a blizzard. She discovers a kidnapped child in one of the cars. As tensions rise, the group must identify the kidnapper and survive. This is more thriller than horror, but a great watch.